I'm going to do my best to be as linear as possible with my storytelling. This is my first time verbalizing this to myself and to an audience. So be patient with me as I do this. Hey guys, it's me, the hobbyist. If you're new here, welcome. This is a space where I speak on social commentary, explore my hobbies, and explore my self love, self care journey. And I hope to inspire others to do the same. If you're not new here, thank you so much for rocking with me. I really appreciate your guys' continuous support. So I'm coming up on a year of being on YouTube, and it just got me to reflect. I've been assessing my status as far as how I feel mentally and just my growth and healing journey. And I realized I haven't really talked about that much here on this channel. Here and there, you may hear me say things about being a divorcee, having kids, and small stuff like that, but I've never gone in depth about it. So this channel was birthed at a time where I was really feeling down. I was really feeling low. I think my YouTube anniversary is like the end of February. And from the beginning of the new year of 2022 to the point where I decided to start my YouTube channel, I feel like I had the biggest mental breakdown that I guess the only one I've had so far. I was really down, and it was a depression. I couldn't explain it. I was easily irritated. I didn't want to leave bed. There was times like I work from home, and at that time I was working from home every day. I would literally stay in bed and work, and as soon as work was over, I would lay down and stay. I would literally stay in bed all day. I took care of my kids, but I found myself snapping at them. Like they were toddlers at this time, both still in diapers, and I don't know. I really was I was at a rough point in my life, so I decided to go to therapy, and it was there that I started unpacking things and like being honest with myself and realizing that I was in a space where I was having inner turmoil and trauma, but I didn't know how to address it. It was like kind of like eating me up, eating me alive. And it was there that I was able to unpack some things that I hadn't even like really given much thought to over the years. So this is basically a story about me figuring out how to love myself, because I realized at this point that was a thing I was lacking, and I had no idea. I really want to take it back to age 18, because I feel like that's the start of adulthood. And I think that's where a lot of like transitioning from kid to adult is like where a lot of people like, they start feeling the feels. So 18, I go away to college, and that's where I suffer. Like I have different bouts of depression, but I don't really know it's depression. I don't know what it is exactly, but I realized as I'm reflecting on it that it was I felt lonely, and I wasn't secure in being alone. And I think that's one main attribute to really not knowing yourself or loving yourself. You have a hard time being alone. You have a hard time not being a part of something. But at the same time, I didn't want to be a part of things. Like, I had a few select friends that I participated with and, hung out with. But other than that, I wasn't really trying to put myself out there. Like, people say that their college years are filled with, like, that's some of the best years of their life. They're putting themselves out there. They're popular. They're enjoying themselves. And I didn't want any part of it. I really wanted to, I don't know. I just, maybe it was social anxiety at this time. Maybe that's how my anxiety was manifesting. But again, keep in mind, at this time, I didn't know I had anxiety. I didn't know what it was. I didn't find out I had anxiety until last January of 2022. So that diagnosis really put in perspective things that I've been feeling really since maybe even childhood. I'm not even going to say maybe. It definitely puts in perspective a lot of things that I've experienced. And it really, getting that diagnosis really actually affirmed me. And it made me feel good, because for so long I didn't know what was wrong with me. For so long, I didn't know why I felt that way. And it's just like to have someone affirm you and validate your feelings. Like, yeah, what you're explaining to me sounds like this, and that can turn into this, and these are the potential causes. It felt so good. So there's things that happened to me in college. There's things that happened to me in high school. I could talk about it. This video would be so long, and but I want to talk about the most recent things that have really catapulted me into being the hobbyist, being the woman I am right now at this very moment. And that was my marriage. So I met my ex. We met in high school, but we weren't friends or anything. Like, we seen each other in passing. We didn't really know each other for real. It was 2016 when we started dating. It's hard not to get deep into the dating aspects and the relationship aspects, but I'm going to do my best to keep it, don't want to bring nobody else down. I'm talking about me. So we started dating in 2016. I hadn't finished college yet. I graduated in 2018. At this point, our relationship went really fast. We dated for 3 months, then decided to get engaged. Real puppy dog stuff. I was 20 when I got engaged. Also 20 when I got married. I got married a month before my 21st birthday. So I couldn't even legally drink. And I'm over here doing nuptials and shit. So yeah. And through unpacking my my life with my therapist, I realized what made me expedite that relationship. And it was because at that time I was looking to be affirmed, I was looking to be loved, and I was looking for a home in another person. And not to say that's the first romantic partner I've done that with. It's not the first romantic partner I've done that with, but he was the first person that was like, I'm all about you too. Like, I feel like he was my first requited love. He was my first, like, I feel the same way that you feel about me. We're here together. And that was like, I never experienced that before. That was my first time ever experiencing that before. And I guess I was in a place of like not knowing love to the point where it's like, oh, I'll never get this again. This means that this is true love. This is a real guy. Like, he really likes me back. I've never had this before. And don't get me wrong, I dated guys, but it was like I was always, the classic, a young guy, young girl. The girl is always into the guy a little bit more than he is into her. That's just how it is. That's what I've experienced. Like, I had no problem getting people to date me or spend time with me or, lay up with me day in and day out. But when it came to actually saying, okay, like, you're my girl, I love you, and this is what I want for us, no, that didn't happen until I met my ex. And that just really, like, it changed my perspective on things. I'm like, it's not like I was looking to get married. I wasn't looking to change my life in that way. I never was like, oh, I need a man, I need this. No, I never felt that way until I met him. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my person. It's strange because I still feel like he is my person to this day, but that'll have to be addressed. Maybe in a part 2. I think this is something that's going to require multiple parts. But I just like realized that what I needed at that time was to love myself rather than loving another person. I didn't feel like I had a place in the world at this time. I went away to college, and it's like everybody makes a big deal like, oh, you're so smart, go away to school and, do good and this and that and the third. But once you get there, it's like, I'm alone. Like, family may think that they're helping out a lot, but for the most part, I was doing my own thing by myself. And I think it has a lot to do with, like, I didn't come from a wealthy family. We didn't have, I went to college because I was smart. It's not because, stuff was put away and put in place so that I could go away to school and be successful at school. It's because, oh, that's what you want to do? Go ahead. Fill out your FAFSA. Oh, I was independent. People see me as, oh, Deja got it. She independent. You don't need to check on her. And it's crazy because, like, that's been a thing in my whole entire life. Like, parents didn't come to parent-teacher conference because I had A's anyway. They didn't get calls home, so they didn't think that they needed to check in. Or I'm independent, Deja got it. Like, it was never like, oh, let's check on her. Let's make sure that she's good, because I always seemed good. And the reason I always seemed good is because I enjoyed being that person. I enjoyed being the person everybody looked at like, she got her stuff together. Like, she's so smart. And, I would always do things to please the people around me in my life. And that's something that followed me for a long time. I think it followed me up until the point of announcing my engagement to my ex. And that's really when stuff started to like, whew, the people pleasing aspect was gone. I was everybody's disappointment at this time. I was breaking people's hearts. I felt like I was ruining relationships when in reality, I wasn't the cause. It was some people's inability to communicate and be effective in their teaching and not fully be able to give guidance. And you know, I give grace to these people because healing and trauma, mental health, those type of discussions, they're just now becoming mainstream, especially in the Black community. And even some people still today repress emotions and don't know how to communicate themselves, communicate their feelings with one another, because they're afraid to dig deep, because having emotions and feeling bad or feeling depressed or feeling any way is a sign of weakness in society. I feel like if you don't go looking for the knowledge of, okay, how can I approach this in a better way? How can I see this differently? How can I connect with this person? If you don't go out and seek that information, it's nothing that will put it in your face. What's being put in your face is not having feelings, being heartless, being basically just giving no F's, being harsh, mean, brass. I think that's an adjective for what I'm trying to say. But that time in my life, and that was 2016, I was still away at school. That time in my life was a really like rough patch. So I found myself being really depressed. I was away at school, about 2 hours away from my hometown. And one night I couldn't sleep. And I'm just like, I gotta leave this place. It was nearing the end of the semester. And I was like, I have to go. I have to get out of here. I have to go back closer to home because I'm not feeling safe here. I don't feel good out here. I don't feel mentally well. And at this time, I don't know that, you know, I'm not really tapped in with myself mentally. So I'm not sure what these feelings are or how they're manifesting, but I gotta get out of here. So it's like something called me and told me to just pull out my laptop and like try to find another school, a closer school. And it was like so lucky that I ended up transferring to Wayne State, which is in my hometown, Detroit. And like their last day for registration for the next semester was like 2 days away from this point where I'm on the computer. So I'm like trying to hurry up and get everything finished. And it's literally 2 a.m. And it was a blessing that I was able to make that change that abruptly. And it kind of, everything aligned for me. But at the same time, I had some triggers with this move. I told one of my parents, hey, I need to transfer. I'm not really feeling, I don't think I go in deep depth about my mental health at this point, but I get met with, oh, okay, but where you gonna stay? And that shit broke my heart. Like, it really broke my heart. And it's like I said, this is my first time verbalizing this. And it's like a rabbit hole. It was like so many things intertwined into why I made the decisions I made that led me to this person I am today. But I feel like it all needs to be unpacked and all needs to be said because I feel like this could help somebody. And it's helping me. It's like therapy. Being asked where you're going to stay, that just put the nail in the coffin that you don't have a place in this world. Don't nobody want you. You don't have shit. I'm 19. I have a part-time job, but I don't get paid. Like, it's not that much money. I think at this point I'm making like $800 a month, and I'm thinking I'm hot shit. I'm like, I make $800 a month, and I'm going to school full time, working part time. I have a little piece of car that always has some little issues here and there. I really didn't feel safe, and I thank God. This is a praise break because I thank God that I'm able to actually have a running, working vehicle that is reliable, that the brakes won't give out in. I'm grateful for that. So praise break right here. Hallelujah. You got to be grateful. Got to count your blessings every time they are presented to you. Got to count them blessings. But I'm going to digress for a second. So yeah, at this point, I'm like really feeling lost in this world. I'm just like, what do you mean where I'm going to stay? Like, you don't live far from the school. You're my parent. Why wouldn't you want to help me in this transition? It's just confusing to me how all of a sudden the cutoff for your love and your support ends here. It was really confusing to me. And that's a whole nother thing to unpack. And I don't even know if I'm ready to unpack that. That's just one thing that reaffirms how I'm feeling and why I expedited the relationship that I was forming. So let's fast forward a little bit past that. I'm at Wayne State. I'm going to school. I'm going to class. Still maintaining my relationship. And in maintaining this relationship, I say, hey, I really we need to make some moves to get a place. And I can't afford one on my own. You can't afford one on your own. We're in a relationship. We have plans to get married eventually. At this point, we're saying that the engagement is going to be like a long-term engagement, like 3 years. And it shouldn't have been no engagement in the first place, but I digress. That's in the past. We here now. We decide that we want to get a place together. And in the interim, I am staying with him. We're staying with his family. And, everything is peachy keen. And I'm thinking I'm finding my place. I'm like, okay, some members of my family have discarded me. Some members of my family don't talk to me anymore. People that were really important to me no longer speak to me, don't support me, damn near probably don't even love me. And I get welcomed with open arms to this new environment, this new family, and I just feel like this is my home. So of course that makes me fall head over heels with this guy, even deeper, so deep to the fact that I'm ignoring red flags, hey, maybe we're too young. Maybe we need to grow up individually, then come together. I'm ignoring stuff like that because I'm like, this is what I've been wanting so long. I've been wanting to belong somewhere, and I haven't for a long time. Okay, I'm back. Had to reel that in real quick. Okay, had to reel it in. But yeah, so at this point, I'm feeling love all around me. I'm feeling like Monica. I am feeling good. I have a home with these this extended family-in-law that I got. I'm feeling good. So we proceed with our relationship, ignoring some red flags here and there. We're both young. I'm like, okay, we're young. We'll get over this. We'll work past this, because the main thing about us is that we said that we were going to grow together. That was our justification for getting married so young. People are like, why are y'all doing this so young? Y'all don't even know yourselves. And what we said to each other, we literally we would sit with each other and have deep conversations and write down plans for ourselves and write down we'll do little loving practices, write down, I don't know, we would just do, it was cool, it was love. It was literally love. To this day, I still look back on that time that was my love. And I give myself grace because I'm I did everything that I thought I should do in the moment. I was receiving the love that I was missing, but I now realize I should have been doing that for myself. I shouldn't have been relying on somebody outside of myself to do those things for me, because that's just a recipe for getting let down. But we end up moving in together, and it's a struggle at first. This is our first place, and some other events happened leading up to this. I lost a job. I remember our first couple weeks at that apartment, I had $7 in my account. We were eating sandwiches, breakfast, lunch, and dinner with one piece of turkey. Them bitches was not fully loaded. It was no tomato, pickle, or onion on that damn sandwich. It was cheese slice, bread slices, one piece of turkey, because you need it to last for the whole week. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We were struggling, but it was beautiful because we were in it together. And I look back on that time with fondness, because I done struggled by myself. I done struggled as a kid and can't, contribute. But at this time, it's struggling for a purpose. We were working towards something together. I got a new job. I was able to get a car. We was going to concerts. We were just living it up. We were looking good together. We were doing well, accomplishing goals and all that. It was good. We had a few rough patches here and there in the beginning, but nothing that was oh, I made a terrible decision. It was always okay, let's work on this together. Okay, we worked on that. Let's move on. Let's go past that. So, without even 1 year, without even 1 year under our belt of marriage, we are pregnant. We're having a baby. And this whole having a baby thing, it's something that was always I always wanted it. It didn't even matter. I low-key had my kids' names sort of picked out before I even met this guy. I had an idea for what I wanted my life to look like already. And it really just required, put this part, whoever's going to cooperate, insert them there. I didn't notice. This is me reflecting back on it. At the time, I didn't know that I was trying to copy and paste the nigga into, my schema of reality. I didn't know that I was trying to do that. But I mean, it goes along with my character traits now. Like, I'm very much a person that says you can create your own reality. Whatever you want, whatever goals you're trying to achieve, you can achieve them. Just do it. Like, work at it, set goals, keep it moving. And it's true. So we find out we're having our baby. We're really excited. It's all love. It's all good. It's all that. Son is born in 2018. And stuff starts to kind of get a little rocky. And this is kind of like in the story, right? It's like, what's it called? The climax of the story. So we right here. The climax is up here. But we on that road. We on that way up. We on the way up to the bullshit. I had to have surgery with my son. I had a C-section. And that presented a lot of challenges. I was more needy because I had got cut open. I'm a new mother. I'm breastfeeding. It's a lot for my spouse at the time. And at this point, he is starting to have some inner turmoil. Because up until then, we were smooth sailing, working on things. But this is the beginning of us both having issues that we can't quite verbalize, I believe. And this is just me speaking from my experience. Can't speak for him, but this is what's on the outside looking in. That's what I see. Yeah, so that happens, and I feel like it's not an unnatural thing for women who have kids to, after they have their baby, they lose themselves. Like, I just carried this child for 9 months, and for 9 months it was all about baby. If baby wanted to eat, if baby wanted to be restless and kick me all night, if baby wanted to be awake, it's just all about baby. Especially if you're a breastfeeding mom, it's like your body is not yours. And I felt like that, and I didn't know. I didn't know at the time. Like, I remember going back for a checkup, and my doctor was like, "When was your C-section?" I'm like, "Do you mean when's my son's birthday?" Like, I'm speaking real, like, baby point of view. This is who matters. I am just a vessel to carry this child. I am a nothing. I am but a worm. That's how I'm feeling at this time. I'm not dressing. I'm not impressing. I don't look good because right now, I'm a fly bitch. It's ridiculous. But yeah, then, I didn't take pictures. I didn't feel sexy. I didn't feel none of that. None of that. I'm going to skip over a few paces and spaces. But I don't know, if you guys react well to this and y'all want to hear more, I can go into more depth if it will help people. But for now, I'm gonna kind of keep it like skipping a rock, kind of surface deep. I'm gonna do it like that because I almost was crying. I did cry, but y'all didn't see it. But I ain't trying to do all that. Nose is running. I ain't trying to do all that right now. So. Yeah, when you have a baby, like, self-esteem goes in the trash, especially that other stuff going on in your life. At this time, I was finishing up school. I was able to graduate with my baby on my hip. I didn't walk across the stage when I'm on my hip, but 3 months postpartum, walking across that stage, I graduated despite what everyone thought or everyone maybe even hoped, because people be hating. Ain't no telling, but I made it through. I made it, and I knew I was gonna make it because that's what I wanted to do. And it was never a doubt in my mind that I was going to fulfill what I was supposed to fulfill. Got a job right out of college. But it wasn't going to work for my lifestyle. Because at this time, I was the only one with a real job. It was a lot of pressure on me. It was a lot of pressure on me having been postpartum and breastfeeding. And it's like everything was on my back. The baby, the household, a nigga. Not trying to drag nobody. I swear I'm not trying to drag nobody. I'm trying to keep it as copacetic as possible. But that's how I was feeling at that time. I was very overwhelmed. I had to get a new job because that job wasn't cutting it. It wasn't cutting the bills. And I actually felt like I got blessed because I was able to find a new job that was paying me substantially more. And it was like I was moving on up. I was like, this is what I need out of college. Like, okay, Deja, after all the BS that you done went through, you about to be out here. Like, you're going to get some money. This is the most money you ever made. You got a baby, the baby eating, he taken care of, you married. You're out here. You're good. You don't have to worry about nothing. It's only up from here. Wrong. Down. It went down. It went down. It went down, y'all. And not in a good way. Not in it's going down. It went down like in the trash can. The gutter. So yeah, to make that long story short, when I get the news that I'm getting this new job, it's further than I didn't want to commute too far, right? So we end up moving. We need a new apartment anyway. We got a new addition to the family. We need a 2-bedroom apartment at this point. So we decided that we want to move to a different city. And I'm working. They required me to be there 10 hours a day. I think that's clear. But, I'm a new mom, 10 hours a day, and I can't, go apartment hunting. So I leave it up to my ex to do it. And my ex is very much a dreamer. And I'm going to say dreamer instead of saying a delusional person, because I'm not qualified to say anybody is delusional. I do not have a psychology degree. I am not, I don't know nothing about myself. So I'm going to say he's a dreamer, a big dreamer, like ridiculously so. So he picks out this apartment and the rent is like, it's real high. I got this new job, but I'm like, hold on. I come from humble beginnings. I ain't never had, I don't know nothing about that. Our previous apartment rent was $500. He want to move somewhere that costs $1,100. I said, hold on. Can we crawl before we run, or whatever the fuck? Like, can we chill on it a little bit? Can we relax? And he like, no, we're gonna be great. No, we're gonna be able to maintain this. This is gonna be fine. This is gonna be what we need it to be. Da 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 da. I was like, okay. Are you gonna make sure it's that way? Yes, I guarantee you. This is my man. This is like, I grew up in a church. I was told the man is the head, or I'm the tail, or something like that. Some shit like that. I don't do that no more. I don't go to church no more for those reasons. But anyway, at this point I'm thinking I need to be humble. I need to let him lead. Even though I'm the motherfucking leader at this point, like, girl, you need to trust yourself. But I didn't love myself. I didn't trust myself. I didn't know myself. Girl, who is her? I didn't know. Moving to this apartment. It's a nice apartment, luxury apartment. Has washer and dryer in the unit. It's nice. It's big. It's spacious. It's like, yeah, I feel like that one up in here. Got my cat, Khaleesi. It's us four. The baby, me, and the husband. Happy little family of 4 in this new place. I got a new job. Shoot, we done got in the apartment and we're like, okay, let's get a new bed. Get a new king size bed. That's on credit because my credit is still good at this point. And then, so we moved in. I think we moved in March. Why do I lose that damn job in April? Not to mention, I forgot to mention at this point, before we moved, right after the baby was born. The baby was born in September. and October, my ex just insisted, we need to get a new car. We need to get a new car. I'm like, what do you mean? Why? I have a car, you have a car. They both run and they're not old. Because I was coming from the Caddy, the year 2000 Caddy with brake pads and rotors that was fried. If you didn't press the brakes 30 minutes before you needed to stop, you were going to die. That's where I was coming from. Humble beginnings. He's a different he's a dreamer. I'm more of a realist. I done been hungry before. I done been, heat off, got the oven open. That's what type of, water heater broke. Sink baths. You feel me? No food. Nutri-Grain bars all day. Pop-Tarts in this bitch. You hungry? Here's a Pop-Tart. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's where I'm coming from. That's what type of person I am. That's what raised me. And I'm happy that I came from that because it keeps me from doing too much. I feel like I done been without, so I know what it feel like, and it keep me grounded. He ain't never experienced that. He comes from, I'm coming to realize, a more entitled background. He's a more entitled person. So he convinces me a lot of things. He convinces me because he got that mouthpiece on. He could sell water to a well. That's what type of dude this is. And it's one thing I admire about him. It's crazy how some of the stuff you admire about people be the same shit that burn you. They be like, I can't believe you lied to me. Girl, the way he talk, why you don't think he'll lie to you? But anyway, let me get back on the top of the subject. He decides we need a new car. Everything in the universe is saying, no, you don't, because you don't get qualified. He doesn't get qualified by himself. I'm saying no. He's saying yes. He pressures me, gets me to co-sign. But I not only have to co-sign, I also have to put up $2,000 of my dollars to get it done. Everything in my bone and my being was saying, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. And from now on, because I felt that feeling recently too, like every time I feel that feeling now, because I feel like everything in my life is aligned and everything is divine, and I'm not going against the grain no more. All this situation has taught me is not to go against the grain, and I need to listen to my inner voice, God, the universe, whatever you guys want to call it. I need to listen and I need to pay attention. But he convinces me that we need a new car. So that car note, $500 a month. We got the new apartment, $1,100. I still have a car. I'm leasing a car. My car note is significantly cheaper than he is. I think it's like $300 or something like that. But I'm the only one with income that you get a W-2 from, if that makes sense. If you a working person, you know what I'm saying. So I lose my job in April. Just got this new apartment, just had this baby, and we effed up. But you know, I not only just lost my job, one night I wake up in the middle of the night, it's like, my stomach is just, I never felt this feeling before. I'm thinking it's gas, I'm trying to stretch, it's getting worse. It's feeling terrible. It's feeling like, is this the fucking end? Come to find out, I have him rush me around the corner to the hospital. Thank God it was a hospital around the corner, because he was dragging his feet because he thought all I had to do was boo-boo. I done made myself throw up and everything. I done tried to boo-boo. And I'm like, hey, take me to the hospital. This don't feel right. He taking his little old time, right? He dropped me off at the hospital to go back home with the baby. I'm in the hospital wrenching, throwing up. I'm all effed up, right? They come in, they take some tests and everything. And they tell me, hey, you need surgery. And I'm like, huh? I was just okay yesterday. I need my gallbladder removed all of a sudden. I'm 5 months postpartum. C-section scar ain't even fully healed. I still don't even feel like myself. Now I have to have another surgery. So that put a damper on things because I just lost my job 4 days ago. Let him know I'm getting the surgery or whatever. He's like surprised. Like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean surgery? Because he never thought that anything was wrong with me. Sounds like some of the narcissists would believe if you tell them that, you know, I'm feeling this way and that way. They'll be like, oh, no, you're not. It sounds like some of the narcissists would believe, but I'm not a doctor. I digress. So I'm recovering from the surgery. I'm feeling terrible. I'm feeling the worst I've ever felt. And I low-key probably had postpartum depression, but I didn't verbalize it or say anything because I didn't want to get locked up in a crazy home. And I think my postpartum depression was manifesting as like me not taking care of myself, me not eating properly. Like everything was about baby. The baby was well taken care of. Baby was getting fat. Baby was smiling. Oh, he was so cute. I was going through it mentally, right? So at this time, I have no job, just had a surgery. We're poor. And my ex was supposed to be doing gig work, but he decides he wants to start a venture with his close friends. And they're going to be rich. They're going to be the next big thing. They're going to be that deal. That's what they believe. And of course you want to believe it too, because you never want to, it's like FOMO. Like you don't want to be like, oh, I didn't believe in you and now you got all this and now, I'm ass out. I don't know. I don't want to miss out. So I'm like trying to believe in them too. But I'm like, hey, we got a corner of formula left and I am hungry. We don't have any money. I have $2. Two of them. Where's the coin? I understand you say you working, but like we really need I'm not trying to say y'all playing over there, but where's the coin? I don't say it like that, of course. Of course, I say it in a loving, caring, wifely way of like, I'm just really like, I don't know what to do. I'm really stressed out, and I just really hope that you can you go out? I know you say you're working, but can you go out and actually bring some money home? Because I'm hungry. And this man tells me, get the F off my phone and go get the computer and find a job. Click. Where did you find this? Where did you come from? Who is this person? Because this ain't the person that I did nuptials with. And it's like, looking back on it now, I can see that he was going through his own thing. And it was the type of person he is. It manifests in different ways. It's not like when I'm going through something, I'm low. I'm sad. I'm not angry, aggressive. I'm not going to I don't project in that way. I'll project sadness and tears, but I'm not going to project anger when I'm not feeling right mentally. But that's what he did to me. So in that moment, oh my gosh, that tore me up. That made me feel even worse. And to this day, I still feel that pain. But I can honestly say that I've done a good job at working past that because of, I'm just a fly bitch. So that's like strike one. And like, okay, this marriage, it may not be for the long haul. That's the first strike. And I think I'm gonna stop it right here. Look out for a part 2 because I don't want this video to get too long. I'm low key about to record part 2 right now. I don't know if I'm uploaded at the same time or not, but I appreciate you guys for watching thus far. Stay tuned for the next installment of I Didn't Love Myself. Thanks, guys.